So, hey guys, my name is Varath from the Black Hand Pictures Machinima team. I'm the project leader of the Veil of Corruption series, and this short movie is supposed to give you a summary of the first chapter of Veil of Corruption. The first chapter is only voiceovered in German language, of course with English subtitles, but it might be a bit hard to understand for the international community, so we like to give you the opportunity to get into the story with watching this short movie. And so we hope this short summary whets your appetite to watch chapter 1, of course. So, release of Veil of Corruption chapter 2 is on the 11th February on Warcraft Movies for the English version and on Gamona for the German versions. You can see the links here, and now let us get to the point. Let's come to the summary of Veil of Corruption chapter 1. The whole storyline of Veil of Corruption is surrounded by a mysterious chess game. There are two players, the black and the white player, and well, you should not consider them as they were obviously meant to be. The black player is not the evil one, and the white player is of course not the good one. There is some kind of gray zone between them, so we cannot yet reveal what the players were supposed to be, but that's well, some kind of the surrounding storyline to the main plot of Veil of Corruption. The happenings of Veil of Corruption 1 starts in a period where the Alliance and the Horde were at war, and one of the main characters, his name is Valerius, an Alliance paladin, and the Grand Marshal of the Alliance is visiting the grave of Uther Lightbringer to get some advice, since his main goal is to bring an end to the war, and he needs some kind of, let us call it, divine support to reach his goal. At the same time, another main character of Veil of Corruption called Lork, a Tauran warlord of the Horde, is in Tirisfal, and he wants to visit the Horde's troops in the Eastern Plaguelands. Since he has some business to do in the Undercity, he is sending first his wife to follow her later. And that's where the storyline really starts. So Kirutikar is getting in a trap by Scourge forces, and she can flee. But finally Kirutika is captured by Elish in the Eastern Plaguelands. So now Uther sends a message to Valerius and wants to rescue her, and that's what Valerius does, but he pays a high price for the rescue of Kirutika, since his brother dies. Now Lork gets a message too from the Earth Mother, and he's also getting involved in the happenings, and that's the moment where he changes his mind. He sees an Alliance paladin has saved the life of his wife by paying with the life of his brother. Now finally Lork and Valerius become friends, and they manage to bring an end to the war, followed by, of course, a period of peace. But the story would not be that interesting if it ends here. So now appears another very important person who's called Ludvera. Well, what Ludvera is cannot be revealed yet, but she's something very, very evil. And as usual for the evil guys, she has a plan. So she visits the grave of Amarant, and she makes him some kind of undead being, someone who is really submissive to her, and now she has a servant. Now let us take a short look at the Guild Manus Nigra. The Guild Manus Nigra is a Horde guild and is among the mightiest houses of the Horde, and the leader of this guild is Varath, an undead priest. Well, that's me, I guess. And Varath is also controlled by Ludvera. Nobody knows this at that point, but she's making his decisions. And part of his plan is to get Kirutika to another place. I will explain later why Kirutika should go to another place. Well, Varath tells Kirutika that she has to visit the Wailing Caverns to examine some strange happenings there. At that point, some of the council members, especially Kirutika, have some kind of a slight idea that something is wrong with Varath, but they cannot determine what exactly is wrong with him. So Varath says that the reason for sending Kirutika to the Wailing Caverns is her upstart behavior, and that is part of Ludvera's plan. I will reveal later why that is very important for Ludvera to get Kirutika to that place. Well, right after sending Kirutika to Crossroads, Ludvera gives Varath the order to launch an attack on Goldshire. The attack on Goldshire itself is not that important, but for Ludvera it's important to distract the Alliance leader's attention to Goldshire to fulfill her main goal, and her main goal is to kill Valerius. So she sends Amarant, who's now called Aileron, to kill his own brother, and he is successful. Well, Valerius is dead now, and well, he's not really dead, he becomes some kind of ghost, but I cannot reveal yet what he really is, so take it as some kind of fact that he's still there. But that gives someone else the opportunity to take part in the action, and that is Tessaron. Tessaron is an Alliance mage who's already Marshal, and now he's reached his goal. He becomes Grand Marshal of the Alliance. And well, Tessaron is some kind of ally to Ludvera. They both serve the same master. Well, also at that point, nobody knows exactly what the master is, but maybe we will reveal a bit more in chapter 2, so don't miss to watch. Now, Ludvera and Tessaron both want war, and that's a good situation to launch war again, because the Horde has already attacked Goldshire, and that's a good reason for Tessaron to call out for vengeance. And he only has to convince the other Alliance marshals, but that is not that difficult for him. So the first step of Tessaron is to launch some kind of undercover attack on Crossroads. And you remember, Kirutika is in Crossroads at the moment, and under the cover of that attack, Ludvera kills Kirutika. And that's the point where Locke changes his mind again. Since his wife is dead now, he wants vengeance. And his kind of vengeance is to assault Theramore, and that's what he does. So he assembles his forces in the Barrens and is approaching Theramore. During this battle in Theramore, Jaina Proudmoore is wounded by some rogues who attack her, but she can flee to Stormwind. So now we've come close to the end. The last scene in Veil of Corruption chapter 1 is showing Seelenfang. Seelenfang is a rogue who is in the guild Manus Nigra, and he finds some book, and the book was written by another rogue who serves the Ravenhold people. He had the order from Torfdun, one of the Manus Nigra council members, to observe Ludvera. And everything he found out, he wrote down in a book. And what Torfdun did not know is that he tried to blackmail Ludvera. But Ludvera is not that kind of person that is getting blackmailed by a rogue. So her solution is to kill him. What Varath, for himself, did not know is that the book existed. So Seelenfang gets this book, and what he's doing with this book, well, that's something you will figure out when you watch Chapter 2. So at the end of the movie, both chess players were wondering what happened to the game, and they were also wondering if the game might get out of their control. And that's the end of Chapter 1. So, I hope you enjoyed this short summary. I hope it helps you to get into the storyline of Veil of Corruption, which is a bit more complex to understand, and I think it's necessary to know what happened in Chapter 1 to understand what is going on in Chapter 2. Well, the best way to figure this out is, of course, to watch Veil of Corruption Chapter 1. You can see the links here, and I hope before you start watching the second chapter, you will try to get into the storyline by watching Chapter 1. So release day is not that far away, it's 5th February now, and I'm really curious about what you guys think about the second chapter. So take a look on www.warcraftmovies.com on 11th and take a look for Veil of Corruption, of course, and I hope you will enjoy it, so have fun and see you.